Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. This is Justice, and this is going to be another Journal with Me video. So sit back, relax, grab a nice warm drink, and do something with me. Journal with me, do your laundry with me, really anything. I love to watch these types of videos whenever I'm doing chores because there's nothing worse than one, doing chores, and then two, being bored while you do it. So let me keep you company. Today we're going to be setting up a layout for a kind of floral spread and talking about change. Um, the stickers that I'm using here you can find on AliExpress if you search the keywords washi sticker and then like floral, or washi sticker and then kind of just search for fun things. These are each going to be sets of like 20 something stickers and they're all really nice. Washi stickers are some of my favorites because they don't really bulk anything up. Um, Something I'd love to do is be able to make my own washi stickers. I've recently opened up my own little Etsy shop where I create custom stickers, and they're not washi, they're like a matte paper, which I like because you can journal over them and have a matte texture rather than have like a vinyl sticker in the middle of the page. But I would love to branch out into both vinyl stickers and washi. Yeah, that sounds so fun, but for a long, long tangent, that was just, I like washi stickers. But today we're talking about change, being afraid of it, celebrating it, and really everything that goes along with that. Recently, I've struggled a lot with going through things and trying to be excited about it while also being afraid. I have never thought of myself to be someone that is afraid of change. Really, I've always thought myself to be someone that welcomes it. Like, yes, please shake things up. I'm getting so bored with how things are daily. But I found myself being afraid of it, and that's really weird. One of the big things that has brought that into my mind is buying our new house. Um, so we live with two wonderful people and their three cats. And I think that one of our cats, like one of ours as in the collective household, is getting a little bit upset because if you know cats, you know that they take a while to acclimate to each other. And so we waited a few weeks before introducing them to one another. We like supervised them and encouraged them to visit each other and just wanted them to get along really well. And every so often they'll be grumpy and growl, but that's to be expected of cats. They're going to do that. But someone is going through the house, not every single night, but a couple times a week, and right in front of my bookshelf, there's one specific spot that just happens to have poop on it a couple times a week. And so we have a little phantom pooper in the house. I installed a security camera, and we've been trying to catch them red-handed, if you can say that in terms of a cat phantom pooper. And it's not working. I'm not sure if it's the security settings I have it on or what, but for some reason it just won't capture that dang cat. And something that we've been thinking of is, well, even if we can't figure out who it is, why is it happening and how can we stop it? And so something that we've all been thinking is, well, the cats are stressed out whenever they do something like that. It's because they're not very comfy. And that's been weird to me too, because I'm like, well, they seem to be getting along just fine. Every so often there'll be a little growl, but they seem to be getting along just fine. And that made me start thinking about myself, and I was like, huh, well, they seem fine, I seem fine. Am I actually okay? And this past little bit of time has been pretty rough. It's weird to be buying a house. It's weird to have to keep up with the house. And it's weird to have roommates when I've never lived with anyone other than, of course, when I was younger living with my parents, and then living with my boyfriend. And so it's all taken a lot to get used to. And I'm sure it's a lot for my cats to get used to everyone too, because they've never had this before either. And so this journal spread kind of talks about that. It kind of talks about how when I was younger, I would constantly daydream that something would happen and I would be taken out of my monotonous life and then just live this adventure. And how now I'm kind of living that adventure and it's scary. And it's not some adventure like I thought of where it was, I'm gonna get a van and then travel across the world on a motorcycle or something, and we're going to ride in hot air balloons and just be a young adult novel. It's, I have an adult job, I'm paying my mortgage, I'm turning my house into what I've always wanted it to be with the love of my life, and we're transforming it into something that we can love for years and years and years. And that is an adventure too. It's just a different one that I didn't really expect to be at this point in my life. And it's also kind of a change in dream, because when I was younger, I just wanted to live and have all of these, I guess, I don't know. I think of them now as like reckless young people things, even though I'm still young, but they just seem like things that I don't want to do anymore. Like go out with friends and go to a bar and have this night adventure, have like a sleepover the movie thing or something like that. And that's just not the case anymore. It's not what I'm interested in. And that in itself is weird to me because am I still myself? Am I a different person? Or am I just maturing? That's something that the movies don't really explore that much. They talk about a sequence of events and how you get there instead of, well, I guess there's a lot of movies that talk about character development and becoming a different person and being okay with that. It's just not something that you take from the movie usually. You talk about the adventures, the jokes, the fun parts that make you cry, but the change that happens internally throughout these movies is what I'm focusing on really. Because in my movie, where I'm the protagonist, although I'm still young, I've gone from the mindset of someone who's just graduated to college to someone who's getting ready to start a family. And that's not to say that I'm going to start a family anytime soon. Like, it's going to be a couple years, but that's my new goal. My new goal is to live a life for me and the ones close to me and eventually make our own little place. It's not to explore and find myself. It's to build onto who I am and be comfortable with that. And something that I've always struggled with since elementary, middle, high school, college is my self-esteem and maintaining who I am and being comfortable with that. A lot of that is body image. Is my hair okay? What kind of clothes do I wear? Am I goth? Am I punk? Am I a hipster? Or just trying to find out where you fit there. And for me personally, that's always been really, really weird. I'm the type of person where I don't really know where I fit, and I've always wanted to find that. But I think I'm just going to make it for myself. And I think that a lot of that is a sign of maturing. Instead of trying to find where you fit, like those little toys that children play with where you put a little star shape into the star hole, it's, no, I'm going to get some tools, I'm going to create the shape that I need, and then I'm there. So it's going to take time, it's going to take money, it's going to take effort and concentration, but that's what I'm doing. I'm going back to the gym. I've been doing a whole lot of yard work too, so my body's just naturally fallen into where it goes. The yard work that we're doing is awesome. The house that we have right now has a pool, so we have to maintain that, trim the lawn. We have tons and tons of shrubs, and we've recently planted a garden too, and that's a lot of maintenance. And another change that has come with that is not being able to journal as much. Journaling is something that I've had with me for my entire life, and I will never completely stop. But for example, last year, if you saw my video of completed inserts and journals, I wrote a lot. And this little insert that I'm working in right now, it's almost April, and I've been in this one since December of 2018. That's unheard of for me. Usually I'll finish them in maybe a month. The inserts aren't too big. When I was in China, I was finishing an insert almost once a week. And so it's really weird to me to see that change in myself, to see something that I love so much have less time. But that is a positive. That means that I'm doing so much more in other parts of my life. I'm focusing more on my job, my career, my business. I'm focusing on maintaining and building this house that we have. I'm cooking delicious food. One of my roommates, she is an amazing cook. She's basically Betty Crocker. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more like her and cook food more. And let me tell you, if you're trying to do that, please, please, please get a meat thermometer. Even if you don't eat meat, it is awesome, and it saves you so much time and trouble trying to guess if your food is done. So definitely do that because it has come very much in handy. I've also learned that cookies take like no time to make from scratch. So if you have a sweet tooth, just go ahead and do it. Grab some bowls and you got it. There's this one recipe I have where it's like flour, baking soda, 1 egg, sugar, brown sugar, and butter, and then whatever chocolate chips you want. And it's the easiest thing in the world, and it's always so delicious. I've been eating a lot of cookies. But yeah, a lot of the weird stuff is realizing that as you grow up, you get different dreams and different goals, and coming to terms with that. Because I feel like a lot of being a teenager, being an adolescent, is focusing on just a few things and thinking that's going to be your entire life. And then you actually grow up a little bit and you're like, oh, my parents were right. And going back to the journaling you see here, the pink ink that's going to be in my Platinum 3776 is the Irishizuku Momiji ink. I really wanted to match something to this pen because it's something so special. I actually got it from a lady on Instagram named Julie, who I'll link below, and I feel like Momiji was pretty close to the pen because the actual resin body is definitely pink, but it also has a more red tint instead of being like a purpley pink, and so the Momiji definitely complemented that. I was between that and the Irishizuku Sutsuji ink, but that one's a little bit more Barbie and less watermelon, you know? It's a very small difference, but it matters to me. Maybe not everyone else, but it matters to me. And the nib is a soft fine, and it's kind of a rose gold color. It's my very first platinum pen, and it's definitely amazing. I really like Pilot. They're one of my favorite companies that I've gotten pens from so far, but this pen is so springy and soft and wonderful, and even though it's a fine, it writes a little bit thicker than I anticipated, but not in a bad way. Because it is so soft, all of your letters look just a little bit different, and I think that adds a lot of character to your script, something that I like a lot. As for the purple, that ink is going to be diamine, I'll go with that one. Iris. That's from the Flower ink collection. And something that I like a lot about it is whenever I put it in my Pilot Falcon, it's not going to be a pain and change colors and blah, because I've noticed that with some of the other inks that I use, if I don't touch my Falcon for a little bit, once I start using it and flexing it, the color will have a lot of variation between just the letters because it kind of dries up in the nib a little bit. But this one doesn't really have that variation, so it's going to be pretty solid wherever you use it. But you can still definitely see between the words on the left side and the right side of the page. The left side is where you can kind of see not the hard start, but where the older ink got onto the paper and it's a whole lot darker, whereas the right, it's a little bit more translucent, but it's not going to be a huge difference. Like whenever I put Konpeki in it, it's like a dark, 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 dark blue, and then it goes to a light blue. And that I'm not a big fan of. Like, it's really nice whenever that's what you're going for, but you're not always trying to do that. Sometimes you're just trying to use it in small little places to complement, and you don't want it to look too drastically different. And speaking of drastically different, I feel like my journaling layouts change a lot, but they still have some key forms to them, and usually that is moving from left to right in threes. Like they're usually something on each part of the page and then something towards the middle or the bottom. And regardless of what materials I use, what fodder I use, I've noticed that I really like that layout, and I'm not sure what it is about it, but that's been with me for years and it's probably gonna stay like that. And yeah, moving back to the pen, it was very difficult for me to actually justify buying this pen, but it was my biggest pen purchase so far, and I cannot complain. I'm so excited about it. You can even, like, if you ask my boyfriend, which you won't because he's not here, I was talking about it so long before it even came, and then whenever my roommate signed for the package, I was just so excited. I was talking to everyone at work about it, like, I just got a pen in the mail. But whenever you're the pen person at work, no one really cares, but you're like, no, you don't understand. Anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to me ramble, and I hope that I kept you company during some type of chore or journaling or anything, and I hope to see you again. You can check the link below for any of the things that I used, as well as a link to Julie's Instagram, and I'm gonna bid you adieu. I hope you have a great one. See ya. P.S. This is the part of the video where I ask you to like and subscribe and leave me comments, because I would love to have more interaction and talk to you guys. It really makes my day, so don't be shy.